Okay, hey guys, we're gonna dip into AutoCAD sheet sets using the sheet set manager, linking fields within blocks or within multi-text to the sheet set names, and linking a AutoCAD template file into the sheet set. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll need the sheet set manager. If you don't see this particular ribbon, the command I believe is sheet set. I'm going to go ahead and dock mine on the left. I'll have it there. Now I've set up a couple of things in advance in a folder for this. I've copied over maybe a dozen or so AutoCAD files from another job that I'm going to link into this sheet set, and a template file that our office uses. So both of these are going to be linked in. Let's go ahead. When you start off creating a new sheet set, you can use the example or existing drawings. I just use existing drawings because I'm basically building a blank template file. I'm going to do this, just give it a name. So I usually give it the job number and job name. This is where the file is going to go. I do want to make a point that unlike Revit, AutoCAD actually generates a DST file. This DST file holds the information for the sheet sets, so it's not, nested inside of a DWG file. So this is in your sheet set files. This is fairly important. Your office that you work at will almost always have a template file or a .dwt file. And these .dwt files are exactly the same in every way as a DWG file. It's just that it's a slightly different format that's set up so that when you click on that, AutoCAD creates a DWG. Think of it sort of as programming in the background. Your template files want to be .dwt files, but they have no real actual bearing on your life. That's just the way AutoCAD or AutoCAD architecture works. DWT files, you can take any AutoCAD drawing and turn it into a DWT file by right-clicking in AutoCAD and saying Save As, and doing Save As.dwt file. But the point of this is that you can set up XREF links inside that DWT file. You can set up layers, layer states, blocks, wall styles, anything that you want, or any of your, we'll call them, office standards can be baked into a current template file, along with your plot settings or anything else almost that you could put in a drawing file. It's just that DWT file becomes the basis for the template, if you will, for every time you right click in a sheet set and say new drawing. It'll pull from that DWT file. Okay, makes sense? Good. Now this is where the sheets, when you create new sheets, that's where they're going to go. Again, Hardy Boy, pick your own adventure. And then again, it's important that the correct template be linked. Everything looks good. Say OK. Say next. You can import DWG layouts at this stage, or you can import and layer. It doesn't matter. Say finish. Be good to go. Now, it did not automatically open this for me, so I'm going to go grab it real quick. You can also open these no problem by double clicking. It doesn't really matter whether or not you open them through AutoCAD or just open them through Windows Explorer. But there's my new DST file. Let's go ahead and open it. Obviously you can see it's blank. What I'm going to do now is create a couple of new subsets. Again, this pulls information from the parent. What I mean by that is that you can link different subsets to different templates. So like if I had an office, say I was in an engineering office, I could have a mechanical template, an electrical template, a plumbing template, a fire protection template, and then all my subdirectories could link to different templates that focused on that discipline's needs. So here we go. We got some subsets. No sheets are in here, so let's go ahead and add some sheets. You can import layout as sheet. Again, all it's doing is right-clicking. So again, these are from another job, but go ahead and import this guy. Now I have two layouts, but I only want the one layout to be present in the sheet set, so just check that layout. Say OK. I get a warning that was saying that it may be associated with another sheet set, and at one point that was true because I did copy it from another job where it was associated with another sheet set. But because I've moved the files, it broke the links, so it's not an issue. It just gets relinked. So what I'm going to do, you right click, rename and renumber. You can also rename the file in Windows through the rename and renumber sheet set manager properties bar here. You just can't have the sheet open when you rename it. Say OK. There we go. So we have our first sheet in the sheet set manager. Now I want to make a point that, see any of these gray areas in this block, these are fields. You can edit a field. I'm going to double click and then right click and you can say edit field. And I want to make a point that you can also create new fields. Anything with multi-text or text, I believe you can turn into a field by right-clicking on it and saying create a field or edit field. And these properties link back to the sheet set or a particular value within that sheet set. So logically, this is going to be the sheet number, the sheet name, and the sheet and the discipline or the subset that that sheet is in. Same with these tags. This is going to be the sheet number. This is going to link to the sheet name. I want to make a point that at any point you can come back in. If it's a field, you can just, whatever you want to call this title block, and that field will just go away. But yeah, that's one of the main points of using a sheet set, right? So sheet sets allow you to organize your sheets in order and move them around. But because you have this sheet set information, if I right click and renumber a sheet that has 50 details on it, all these numbers that have fields will automatically update based on the sheet set. So it's an efficiency and accuracy benefit, right? So let's do a couple more, import a couple more sheets. Let's go ahead and grab the first pack of them, let's say. I don't want to do too many because a lot of sheets kind of will bog down the system. It'll take a while, and I just don't want this tutorial to linger on too long watching an AutoCAD program load. It will take a minute both to get them to show up and then to populate in the sheet set. As you can see, it does take a minute. So we can sort by layout name and import these. And again, it will take a minute for it to load. There we go. Now, again, some folks will ask me, why don't you copy the entire DST file from job to job? And the simple answer is it just doesn't work very well. You'll get errors, the links will get garbled and broken, and it's very hard to fix them. And there are ways around it. There's a way you can create a sheet set nested in a project. There's something in AutoCAD and AutoCAD architecture called the project browser or the project navigator. Let's see if we can There we are, this little guy. And you can create new projects and then nest it inside of new projects or sheet sets. And then those I've had some success copying. It's just by the time I put in the effort and the complexity of adding a project, it's just way more simple to just avoid using the project navigator altogether, and then just create a new sheet set as I need it. That's what works best for our firm. I just want to let you know there are other options out there. Now, okay, going back to this, as part of sheet sets, you can click and drag. So again, if you just want to reorganize the order of your sheet sets, it's very easy to. Alright, renaming, renumbering. Sheet sets, reorganizing sheets within sheet sets, moving around, you just drag and drop. It's fairly straightforward. Printing, you can hold down Control and select a series of sheets, or you can select whole disciplines, or you can select a series of disciplines. It's very similar to Windows, where you hold down Control to select multiple items, and then you can publish. You can publish to PDF or DWF. I use a page setup override. Page setup overrides can be linked back to that template file we talked about earlier, where you can modify these. You can set up your print settings however you like, and then you can publish with that override for multiple sheets. Make sense? Good. Now, you can also, down here in model views, and this is rather nice, that you can add the location for your project in the Windows browser. So this is also usually something that I do. So instead of trying to, say, find files in the Windows Explorer, I can just open my AutoCAD for the day, pull up this sheet set, and I can dip into particular files. For example, I can dip into the base and work with the X references, as opposed to going through the sheets to get down to that X reference. You can just have your file location right there as well, ready to go. Let's talk a little bit about these template files. So because we made a template file, if I say new sheet, this is what it's doing. It's looking for this template file. So you can just give it a name. So if I do that, I say OK. If that sheet already exists, say OK. And in Windows Explorer, a new DWG file will have been made, and it's already linked into the sheet set. And because I set up my template file to look for the frame or the border for this job is already ready to go. What I mean by that, in case you're not super familiar with AutoCAD XREF linking, is that here is a DWG of the frame in the folder of the job that I'm working on. The template file had this link already set up looking at that path, and because the sheet got created where it did, it looked for that frame and found it, so it comes in automatically. That's one of the many benefits of a template file. Okay, I think for the day this pretty much covers the general workings of sheet sets. If you want to remove a sheet from the sheet set, you just right click delete. Yeah, it just pretty much covers it. Appreciate your time. Thanks.